the first session of D120's OGN's question and answer revamp of
That's what we're doing.
Yep. Of everything that why we were gone, what we were doing, what we're trying to do, and what we're trying to implement into things, and how everything's been running so far. Right here we have Wrathchild, the main owner and founder of OGN. And
one of the mains.
Yeah. But we decided to take a break for multiple reasons, and reasons that can actually be explained today and tonight. My first reasoning is, well, we've been busy, mainly kids on the way, work, and trying to get everybody together is kind of difficult to do sometimes. Wrathchild-wise, he's got a few reasons.
Yeah. Well, my wife had some medical stuff going on with that whole issue. So actually, tonight she's actually up in Cleveland, Ohio, where we're kind of out of getting some tests done. But that being said, had a baby. He's 7 months already. We're trying to work on him. He's getting his teeth in. Then our schedules weren't lining up from one player to another player, and it wasn't just lining up. But we're making a comeback. We've got everything coming in. Been working with Dom to try and get a good steady stream with. I contacted a couple musicians trying to get a good theme song going. For instance, I talked to Yaroslav Beck, one of the guys that owns Beat Saber Games, and got his permission via Instagram and Twitter to use his one song for our theme. So You'll see that hopefully tomorrow. But that being said, we've also got our game system we're making from scratch. Well, for the most part from scratch. And we are going to put down some ground rules with our players, so it's more entertaining. For instance, we're going to try and stay in character more often. Whether what we're doing, what we're saying, how we're acting is all going to be more character-based. And from there, we're also going to do a lot more with, there's a lot of discussions of how rules work. I'm a very strong believer of when the GM or the DM, whatever you want to call that person in lead, whenever he is running or speaking, whatever rules he says or comes off as, I want to apologize. My little boy's got his teeth coming in and you can hear him in the background. My daughter's awesome with him. But anyways, long story short, the GM rules. Whatever he says goes. So if the book says that you pass this, I don't care, because essentially it's
we're doing a homebrew.
Right, it is a homebrew, and it's all based off his decision because it's his game. It's the story's game, and they're the characters that are making the story come to life. We're also going to do we're going to link a PayPal on here. That way you actually can take a part of what's going on with us. For instance, I'm not too sure how the prices are going to go. Thinking like $1 to give one of the players a +1 max. All right, that's my puppy. He whimpers when he's not getting attention. Anyways, much like any guy like me, if I'm not getting attention, I cry out. And oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought.
We were on.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Dom. Yep. But like if you get $1 to us, you get a plus. I don't know, +2, +3, whatever.
Yeah, so things like it'll range from like DM takes a negative or a disadvantage on a roll depending on how much you paid. Giving a free player a bardic inspiration just from out of nowhere, or this player has recently just lost this much HP, but they need to like somehow get a health back to like kind of sustain them a little bit in this one fight because they're alone or something like that. Just something along the lines of helping or taking disadvantages of players, or if you want a player yourself to specifically take something down, like say I'm playing a barbarian, you're like, well, we want to get rid of one of his rages that he can do a day. Well, oh no.
Yeah, but we also, I'm thinking about putting like a $5 donation on there, and if you donate $5, I got this from another D&D group that we were watching. Donate $5 and you the audience get to choose what is in the crate they open up, or whatever that creature had for their loot. That being said, that's pretty much all the changes we're going to have.
Yep.
But the system, we're going to be playing 5th edition. I'm going to be running. It's going to be a completely homebrew. You're going to hear a lot of different things going on because I loved 3.5. That was one of my favorite systems. But 5th edition is pretty much easier for a lot of new players, and that's what we got.
Yeah. Sadly, I mean, we grew up on 3.5. Firstly introduced to 3.5. Still think one of the most phenomenal systems ever. But 3.5 to 5, it's not a hard transition, so it makes it easier for us. But 5th edition, you might see a few things that might break the game for this campaign. So watch out for my character coming.
And if we can get 20 followers or 20 people viewing at one time, we're actually going to do a giveaway. Probably a free set of dice or something. I mean, heck, I've got dice everywhere, and something from the players coming to you for being so awesome and trying to support us that way. But I'm going to leave it open to any questions. I see we had a couple viewers. Yeah. But if anyone has any questions of what's going on or what to look for, that is fine. But what else?
Well, I know there's like... we've been working on getting our terrain and stuff all set up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've been getting miniatures, finding out how to do all that stuff. We've been getting prepped for that, so be prepared for different angles, like days where we have a full-out boss battle where we got to go through dungeon or moving around. It's really neat. It was actually really cool to see firsthand by one of our friends that had created it.
Yeah. If you guys want to check him out, it's Surly Tim's Fun Bunker
2.0.
2.0. He does a lot of terrain. The man is a mad genius when it comes to 3D terrain and dungeons and that kind of stuff. He's actually, I'm trying to pick his brain about different things and try and do something like that for you guys. But then I have another buddy, Charlie, who he does all of our custom miniatures. Fantastic work, and hopefully once we get enough cameras and different angles, we can actually broadcast down of the terrain that we're using from Tim and some of the custom miniatures that Charlie is actually gonna hopefully make for us. But yeah, so we're gonna try and do that kind of stuff. We're not always gonna be on 5th edition D&D.
Nope, we'll swap from like Call of Cthulhu, 3.5 sometimes. Soon our system, hopefully, once we get there. And many more systems that we can probably learn and find out and figure out how to play and just bring it in out there. I know Pathfinder 2 came out, so that might be something we might end up checking out together.
So whatever money we get from you guys and whatever money we're actually putting in is actually going to go for better equipment. Because if you guys could see some of the stuff we're working with, you would laugh. We've got
there'll be some behind-the-scenes footage.
Snowball mic with athletic tape. Or, I'm sorry, an athletic bandage?
Yeah, it's an ace bandage, yeah.
Ace bandage wrapped around an old easel tripod. And that is our mic. It stands about,
you can go taller. You can go about 6 feet.
And it's held together by a pencil. We've got we've got a webcam right now that we're using, Logitech. It's 720. But it's nice. I mean, you can see the quality.
Yeah.
I mean, so whatever money you guys get to us, we're actually going to try and turn it back around and actually get better streaming equipment. We're actually going to try and really hammer this down to where we got good quality, involving you guys a lot more. We figure if we're having fun and you're having fun, then it's a great community. I mean, I don't want to strive to be anything like Critical Role because those men are geniuses, and I respect every one of them. Their voice acting and how they run and they play. And Matthew Mercer is a great GM, and I've taken a lot of notes from him, whether it was YouTube or it was just watching them stream Critical Role on Geek and Sundry.
Listening to the podcast. I mean, it's just one way, like, listening to it, it changes your perspective because you're like, well, I can't visually see it, but in my mind I can think about it and actually see what they're talking about and be like, wow, I actually can see that character being there. I see exactly how they look. Their voice fits it perfectly somehow. It's really nice, and I want that to actually, once it implements into our group a lot more, once we become more comfortable, I think that'll happen. I'm trying to implement it a lot myself. Here, Wrath, Ryan, whatever, he implements it a lot, even just by being a DM, he does it. So it's real nice to do, and I really hope that most of our people actually start getting it down.
We want to try and keep in the chat, as well as on camera, No discrimination whatsoever. And I don't want put downs toward anybody. I mean, honestly, we're here to have fun. I mean, you'll probably see my kids or hear my kids every once in a while. There'll probably be children watching from our own family watching this kind of stuff. So any discrimination, anything to that point, let's just keep it off here. We're gonna try. Well, we're not gonna try. We're going to not use foul language.
Yes.
I'm a very big stickler about that, only because I want this to stay kid-friendly. Because there's so many times they're out there and they're saying swear words, and my 3-year-old's trying to repeat half the stuff they say. And whatever. Let's work on it on our aspect instead of everyone else's. But I don't see anybody messaging. This is bad.
Yeah.
Anyone want to come talk to us?
I mean, we posted. Well, did we actually post it on Facebook?
I don't think we did.
Well,
I think that's. Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people following.
Yeah. Well, that's my old one.
Oh, that's your old one.
That's right. That's Brad's. That's.
Well, I think Jeremy's following right now.
Yeah. But yeah. And then there's Jay's. That's Dex's.
No, Stargirl's not Jay.
Is it not?
No, that's my buddy's mom.
Oh, okay. But I mean, a few things. Like, I mean, a lot of times we'll try to do these question and answer things. Maybe probably once a week, twice a week.
Well, we're also going to do it when we take our break. We're going to start.
We'll have special guests.
Yeah, every Saturday. Not every Saturday. Every other Saturday, we're going to do gaming, and it's going to be from 6 to say 10-ish. Sorry, 6 to 9. 6 to 9. 6 to 9. That is what we're doing. And then about an hour and a half into it to 2 hours into it. It just depends on how we're sitting with the GM. We're going to take a break. It's going to be about 10-15 minutes for those smokers that need to take a smoke break, or someone wants to get a quick bathroom break or grab something quick to snack on. We will still stream. However, it's going to be more like this right here, what you see.
Yep.
We're going to jump off, rearrange the camera a little bit, and then someone or some people are going to be sitting down and answering questions or talking to you this way as well.
Yep. So it could first off probably starting off with me and him like it is now, or it could be some of you guys can even do a poll vote. We can throw one of those in. Who would you guys like to have show up and talk to or ask some questions to them directly, even about their character or how they came up with the background, stuff like that. Or just how in general how they got started in D&D or into the role-playing tabletop genre.
Yeah, so I guess since we want to take this for at least 30 minutes, and we're only coming up on the 13-minute mark, I'm going to ask you, you'll be my first one, when was your first role-playing experience?
Believe it or not, it was actually with you. It was the very first time I've ever played D&D. Best group I've ever had. I love those two. I love Orc. I love Huffy. Both two great players that made Polias, even myself, break out of my shell, because it took a while for me to even actually try to grow. And even you saw that, because I'm DMing. It's great. It's showing the improvement that I've had.
I do gotta say, running with you and Chris and Frankie was the most stressful thing in the world to do. And I want to say thanks to all the GMs and DMs that I've ever ran with, from when I started at like 7, 8, to me now, which is 34, and the problems that they had trying to keep me under control and under wraps. I got paid back tenfold with these three. And the one biggest one was I had this crazy, crazy wizard. His name was Peg. And he was an NPC, and he was more or less trying to keep them on track because they were a ragtime bunch. And it was hard to keep them together.
Oh, yeah. I ended up with the dog half the time.
Oh, yeah. But we were at a bar, and I can remember this very vividly.
At the bar.
And we were at a bar, and it was... Well, not a bar. It was a tavern.
Yeah.
But we had
Lusty Dragon.
him... It was... the bar's name was the Lusty Dragon, which just don't even answer. Don't ask questions on that. It'll probably make an appearance again, but that's where they're at. And they were all drinking, and I don't remember how it started, but he was a wizard and took his serpent, his familiar, across.
Yes.
And crawled up Huffy's leg.
It was when he was the paladin.
Was he? No.
Yeah. This was the Evil
Paladin
campaign because what happened was I walked in looking for what was presumably my brother Zachariah on the Evil campaign, and he started giving me this look and this threatening manner, and I decided, well, I'll just send my snake with paralysis on it and slither all the way up his leg, and I just let Ryan know just a little bit. I was like, I put paralysis on my snake and let it slither all the way across. He was like, oh my goodness.
So, that being said, as Huffy felt the snake crawl up his leg, picks up his cup, and chucks it across the table. And I told him to roll. And when we were doing it, it was 3.5. And we had our own little D6 thing where if you crit, you rolled a D6. And based off what number it was how much damage you did, to 6 being an insta kill. And he hit a 20. I said, okay, roll the D6. He rolled a 6. Did a 5, which was max damage times 4. And that was our 5.
Yep.
And straight up knocked him unconscious. Like, borderline killed him. As he got stuck in the leg by the fangs of this snake, causing him to be paralyzed. And I'm like, holy crap, we just started animosity with this group. So my NPC Peg made an unexpected appearance and boop, just popped in and be like, okay, you're all waking up from this dream where everyone's picking fights and you guys are sitting at the exact same table with everything going on that you just remembered from your dream. Let's try this, take 2.
I wanted to do it again so bad.
And he tried. He really tried to do it again. Like, no joke. These guys, oh my gosh.
I did not like paladins. That was the whole point of her.
Yeah. So, but that being said, what was your most memorable memory of us playing?
My most memorable, actually, believe it or not, my most memorable would be when we were running with, I think it was your uncle, for Heroes, or the superhero.
Okay.
When I was the alchemist / alien, and you were the strength. I can't remember what it was. You were just full strength, and I just build walls right behind you, and you just throw them into it, doing bonus damage.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. Yeah. I was playing a superhero. We were doing champions.
Yes.
But it was a modified champions. My Uncle John is an amazing GM. Amazing GM. And he does a lot of his stuff. He'll take it, and then he modifies it, and he makes it his own, but it's still the same basis of this. For instance, he did a City of Heroes one, which we all know City of Heroes was obsolete for quite some time, but he still turned City of Heroes into our own champions thing, and it was just a fantastic thing. And he was playing a guy that was like an earthbender, that he could create walls and funnels and whatnot, and I was playing, I forget what guy I was playing,
straight strength,
but that's all I was a brick. I could take the hits and I could deal the damage right back, and we were playing these guys so stinking well, to where no matter how strong they were, I would grab them, turn around and throw them into a wall that he just popped up behind me, which they dealt damage from my throw, they dealt damage through the wall, they dealt damage from the fall, and it was just boom, 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 boom. It was...
We could have probably taken on the whole pack by ourselves.
So how long have you been playing?
I've been playing, actually, let's see, since 2015-ish, since you've arrived when we were working together.
Yeah.
So I've been playing for almost 5 years. And you, my gosh, man. I want to get there. I want to get to that age. I mean, I didn't start at young, but I want to get to that age to where I'm like, I've been playing this for like 30 years.
Yeah. I've been playing with an old group since I was 7, 8 years old. We had to hide it because my mom was a very, very big, devout Christian and said D&D was the devil. And my uncle Mark and our group of guys, which I will remain nameless, so they're not accomplices. We would all run, and this group was huge. I think we had anywhere from 6 guys to 11 guys sitting at a table, and every one of them we started off playing 2nd edition, or 2nd edition. And I remember when my first time playing, my old DM and really good friend Cajun, he gave me the best armor because I came in the middle of a campaign and I looked at my sheet, and if anybody remembers 2nd edition at all, the lower the armor, the better you are. And I'm looking at him like, why do I have a -17? And everyone at the table was in an uproar. And they're like, what are you freaking talking about? And I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. Why is everyone so mad? I got a -17. I don't get hit all the time. Well, I've been playing since then, and I've never stopped. I was a player all the way up till I was about, oh geez, middle school, when I decided I was going to try and sit behind the table as a DM and see what was going to happen and see how everything worked from the opposite side of the screen. And I liked being in control. I miss playing, so every once in a while you'll see me step back and be a player, and he'll probably take hold.
Yep.
But I did this till about middle school when I became a GM, and then I was off and on GM player for that many more years. I've been playing since I was 7, 8. Do the math. I've been over 25 years, 26 years, something like that. I don't know. I've been playing like that. I've played all different systems, from Rifts to Champions, Dungeons and Dragons, Call of Cthulhu. I remember playing Vampire and Werewolf. I've played some sort of a GURPS. I remember playing GURPS, but I don't remember what exactly we were playing in GURPS. And then I played this really awesome one that was like, what the heck was it? My Uncle John ran it. It was like, oh no, it's still the Hero System. So it doesn't matter, because Hero System is like covering everything from Fantasy Hero to not City Heroes, Fantasy Hero to superheroes to Star Hero to the modern day stuff. I play D20 Modern. I like to do zombies a lot, and you'll probably see me do that a lot.
We will probably end up doing a lot of zombie stuff. I mean, I enjoy the zombie stuff.
Yeah.
Because right now, the character that I've been running with through our test runs through the whole campaign, it's amazing. Been through a lot of downs recently. It's heartbroken. Mm-hmm. Very heartbroken, and I'm sad because I had companions. There's one left out of 3. Killing them.
Being a quick recap on that, let me explain a little bit here. I love to roleplay. I'm not real big into the combat. I mean, I like combat, but I would rather build character and that kind of stuff. I keep looking down at that little box watching us instead of up at the camera. So if you see me looking down, it's only because I see my reflection. What the frick? So anyways, now... Oh, what the heck? My cat. So the recap on that real fast was Derek, Dominic's character, was a streamer, and the zombie apocalypse hit while he was streaming. And when he came home from a cafe that he went to just go buy some stuff, get some food, and he was headed home to, there's a door open in his apartment complex, and there's a mom and her 2 daughters, and the dad apparently was into a zombie that they thought, but you find out later was actually one of the other players. But not, one of the other players was the dad, and the mom was committing adultery.
Just everything.
It was, or maybe she wasn't committing adultery. We never really found out.
We never did. I killed her.
Anyways, Call of Cthulhu for the win!
Yes, Call of Cthulhu. I still love Call of Cthulhu. Played properly. I like the Call of Cthulhu because it's all about role playing. It's all about investigating. It's never combat. I don't like combat based games as much because you've taught me that role playing is just it's key. It makes you love your character.
Agreed. And Mokodo, that is my brother-in-law. He is the other founder of OGN. But he's got some craziness in his head when he runs Call of Cthulhu. And hopefully we can actually have him on here and he could be running for us. But this one little scenario, I just got off topic of the other thing.
It's alright.
It's okay.
It's alright. We're filling.
He ran one, and it's a really familiar scenario called the Corbett's Mansion. And anyone that's ever played Call of Cthulhu has probably played this at some point. But he took it to a completely different spin because the Corbett's Mansion is such a fantastic scenario. And, oh man, that is the TARDIS. I love you, and you're going to do amazing things on Twitch. I'm so proud. Love you. I love you too, sis. I know you're watching, but I love you too. Anyways, but yeah, he took it and he changed so much, but it was still so awesome. One of the best things I've ever. I don't know if you were still running with us when we were doing Call of Cthulhu or not.
I was with you guys. We've done a couple of Call of Cthulhu stuff.
Just bringing my wife some lunch. She is in the hospital.
Oh.
What? Why is she in the hospital? Okay, that is news to me. Anyways, let me know what's going on, brother. But one of my most fondest memories from him... See, now I'm all worried.
Yeah.
One of my most fondest memories of his GMing Call of Cthulhu was every time you'd open up a door. It didn't matter if it was a door, or an oven door, or whatever, because Call of Cthulhu was based in the 1920s, you would teleport to a different room in the house. And we were playing, and somehow I got teleported to the basement, and I'm trying to get a message because I can see them out the basement window, and I can see their feet, and I'm trying to get their attention. I'm banging on the window, and nothing. I'm in a black as black, no light basement. And I'm feeling around, and I grab something, and I hold it up, and it's a rat. And I'm like, okay, I can attach a note to this rat, and I can get it out the window somehow. And they'll see this note, and they can come running. Well, the rat bit me, and out of instinct, I immediately I smacked it, and I broke its neck. Well, in doing that...
Oh, with Dan, the campaign, not real life.
Oh! Yeah!
Right, cool.
Oh, my gosh. I'll get to that one here in a second. But I broke the rat's neck, and then after I broke the neck, I thought maybe if I throw the rat to the window, he'll break the window or something. So I threw the rat, and the rat just hit the window, and like cartoonish just slid down. But the one he's talking about, me and my buddy Dan, I think it was a 2-man campaign if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it was me, my buddy Dan, I think my sister, or maybe another player we had. But anyways, we were doing it, and this guy, our mission was we were supposed to figure out what was going on in this town. Never did figure it out, but there was stuff going on, and they said never go outside at the dark and never go through the mist. By the way, can you guys do a little side thing for me and take my wife who's in the hospital some lunch? Yeah, no problem. I don't mind doing it. I'm rocking a box, more like a wrestler build, and my buddy Dan is... I love you, buddy. And my buddy Dan's rocking a detective. And I'm thinking more, since it's 1920s, like a Dick Tracy build. And we go into the hospital, and all these people are in there. There's pandemonium and havoc. And we come into the room, and the wife is sitting there, and she's pregnant. And she's laying there, and she's just in a lot of pain. And she's just leaning back, oh, I don't know what's going on, and it hurts so bad. And me, trying to be the nice gentleman I am in these games, I set up her tray really nice-like, so her meal was here and there and that, and this silverware was here, and the drink was there, and it was really awesome. And I come walking in with a silver tray, and I'm like, hey, I'm here to get your lunch. Well, her stomach opened up like a mouth, and this baby, still attached to an umbilical cord, flies out, grabs the tray, and sucks the tray back in. Just before I could snap my fingers. I was traumatized, and I literally thought to myself, I'm gonna die, and my eye twitched. Before I could even respond, I looked over at my buddy Dan at the table, who was sitting there, and he immediately had his arms doing this motion, in which we knew that if we were going to run, because we would hide or run and leave the other guy because something stupid they did,
yeah, he
was already running. He said, I'm already out the door. I'm running down the hall. I'm gone. And I'm left in this room with this pregnant wife whose baby just flew out of her stomach, stole a tray of food, and could possibly eat me right now. So that was one of my favorite Call of Cthulhu scenarios. That was also ran by Mochadope there.
Now I got a question.
Yeah.
How do you think my transition from being a player to DM to being now just regularly DMing, how do you think I've changed or progressed in like a bit of this time?
Maybe too late. I think you as a player, you've gotten better. When you first played, it was I think like every new player that you ever have sit down and they think about D&D like kick in the door, kill everything, loot all the stuff. It's like almost like a WoW aspect.
Yeah.
And that's what you had. At the very beginning, it was like kick in that door, I want to kill it all, and I want to loot the best stuff. It's okay, just leave it there. But you went from that kind of mentality to where that mentality of all about me.
Love you.
Love you. Now go. You went from the mentality of, I want to say almost like a selfishness kind of thing.
Yeah.
To where it was like, ooh, that's enchanted. Ooh, that's magical. Ooh, that's this. I want to kill him! And you go.
Yeah.
And it was, you went from that mentality to, you and Chris were always button heads.
Yeah.
And I think that really, I don't want to say helped, because it was a lot of stress, and it was like, I remember outside of the game, which is one of our rules, by the way, we never bring inside stuff from the game outside, and outside stuff never comes inside, because we want that friendship. But you and him button heads all the time, I think really improved you. Because when you finally got the courage to sit behind the screen, you were, I don't want to say ready, but it was like, we weren't easy on you. And I think it was nice to, one, not only be able to teach you, like, this is how you are when I do it, but this was also like a crash course kind of thing.
Yep.
To how to DM from the seat of your pants. Because let's be serious, one player does one thing and half your campaign is gone.
Yep.
And I think that was really important to teach you, and you've blossomed a lot to now you're running regularly. We've actually done a couple sessions on here. Night, guys.
Hey, night.
Night, brother.
Thanks for joining.
I love you, bro. Talk to you later. To where now you are, you're constant. That if I do something, you're constantly thinking ahead of all the scenarios and all the possibilities that person could possibly screw you up. But as a player, you've blossomed a lot too. To where it was like pulling teeth to get you to have a backstory, have a background. Because it was always the same thing. It was, and it's not just with you, with any player.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, my mom and dad were killed. I have no family, and that's it. To where it was finally like, okay, no, my dad now is doing this. My mom, she left us, but she's alive somewhere, and I've got siblings. Yep. So you're giving me a lot more to work with.
Yeah, and I've noticed that too, because as soon as I noticed I got more comfortable, I ended up giving you, like, just now with our new character, I just came up with, just as soon as I saw the character, I was like, I know what I want for the background instantly, and knew what I wanted to do. And I'm giving you more complex, I'm giving you more things to fiddle with, more things to play with, take away, or hurt me with in a matter of, in certain cases. And thank you, because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have broken my shyness of anything.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to be the outgoing person I know I'm supposed to be.
That being said, I think it's really important that you develop these friendship bonds with your people, that you know your players, because one, you're gonna know their weaknesses, you're gonna know their strengths, but at the same time, it's not just you learning, it's everybody learning.
Oh, yeah.
Me gaming for over 25 years, I'm still learning stuff that people do or people say, where it's like, oh, did you know this is going on here? Or, hey, I want to let you know what's going on there. And I'm, whoa, wait, what?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm still picking up on different things about, like, my own background, to where when I'm creating characters, I'm still trying to branch away as a GM, seeing how tomorrow's creeping up on us of not having the party start out in a freaking tavern.
Hey, but I like the tavern.
Everybody likes that. That's the go-to to any GM.
It is. Well, start me off in the wilderness by myself with nobody else around.
So,
And zombies come over the hill.
Yes.
In an
elevator going down.
Yep.
But
truck come through.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you guys tomorrow during our break about how I started and all the fun times that I've had doing different things with some of the best GMs that I've ever played with. From my good friend Don Schwartz. He's more family than a lot of friends that I have. I've known him since I was a kid growing up. So that Uncle Don, he's on here. Hopefully he'll be watching us. To my Uncle John, my Uncle Mark. I've had my buddy Cajun, my buddy Speedy, my buddy Keith. I've had multiple GMs, and every GM that I've ever had, I've taken something away from. And I've tried to turn that into my own thing, because I feel that if Dominic sees one type of GMing and goes to a different party and sees another type of GMing and then goes to another party and he sees different aspects that he likes of those, that he could form into it. And then eventually we're just going to have all these different types of GMs that come in and they do the different thing, and it's nice. It's awesome
It is.
because they're all kind of on the same page. They're all learning, but they're all got their own little twists and turns and spins.
It gives it a refreshing look. It gives
Right.
it's always changing. It's never the same, and it feels nice. And once you get to know their style and know it, you're like, well, I could create something around this, or I could play into it a lot more.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I like it with how we GM, because we GM kind of similarly, but we GM a little differently at the same time, because sometimes we play it one set story. We know we got a beginning and end. Get there somehow. While I started doing writing the books now out, and I'm like, all right, well, we can do this to here, but I need them to get to somewhere here in the middle. So it's nice to have something like that.
He does all the writing out. He'll make sure all this is done. But as he just pointed out, when we were trying to create just some of the campaign stuff, was one action that I did turned a whole lot of dialogue into nothing.
Exactly.
So the way I GM, which I guess essentially I kind of try and teach you, and I tried to teach Chris, and I'm trying to teach Roger or Jay, which he'll be here tomorrow. Was don't always fly from the seat of your pants, but I have, and that it's always worked for me in the past. But that being said, oh okay, oh wow, 4 hours of that. That's awesome. Anyways. We have. I get to stare at that picture. But I teach them that because when I do it, I have a start point. This is the plot. These are the characters. This is how you guys are meeting. Unless you want to find out, oh, I want to meet by my own thing, and we all don't know each other. Which, if that's the case, it's a little harder to get the story moving. But if you know your players and they know that this is a necessity, they normally come together pretty good. You'll have those one or two bad eggs, but if you leave it to the players will eventually get them in for you. But I'll have a start point, and then from this point to this point is all just off the wall, top of my head kind of stuff. I'll have a list of enemies that are going to be encountered, different town names, some NPC names, maybe even some different ways to get them back on track in case something goes astray. Then this is how I want the end to go. And I've tried to do this with Dom and teach him that because, like he's witnessed firsthand, I did one action and all I did was climb a wall.
And threw off the whole thing. Like there was like a full page of dialogue that was supposed to happen, and he literally goes, "I climbed the building and get to the guy." What? Rolls nat 20. Then you got another guy looking, sees it, and starts climbing with him. And I'm like, well, they're going after the king at this point, and then all of a sudden it's just like, well, you get pushed off, and he falls down with you. It's like,
his NPC that was supposed to push me off so we can go back to the way it was, I actually grappled
and he comes down
and pulled him down with me. Like, I don't know. It was just, you'll have players like that, and it really screws your whole thing off. So I guess that's what we're trying to get at is, in this, it's a lot of unscripted stuff. We're all amateurs at it. And no matter how much experience you have, it's going to screw up. I mean, and you just roll with the punches.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm going to kind of wrap this up with my end. I'm not done if he's done. With some of our rules that we're going to have on here. And not just for you guys, but a lot of the rules that we, as part of Outcast Gaming Network, we have. By the way, if you want to check us out, it's Outcasts, plural, OutcastsGamingNetwork.net. Yep. The page is fantastic. We've got we game all types of platforms. It's all on there. Dominic's actually doing...
we opened up an esports for League of Legends right now. Once that goes through a lot more, we'll probably end up getting more out of just League of Legends. We'll probably venture out a little bit more and get people for like Apex, Fortnite, all the most popular games, because that's where most of the, not I want to say cash is at, but a lot of the times if you want to get business or stuff like this to go rolling more, you need something off to the side that just throws in a little bit more.
After we do that, I mean, I want to start doing more console games, heck, more mobile games even. To maybe possibly having a Magic the Gathering tournament and have a bunch of guys. We would set up tables and we play Magic the Gathering and have set rules of whatever we're going to play.
We can do that. We got people from New York.
That'd be awesome. But nothing that's going to be us putting cash in, more or less bragging rights, only because we're not sanctioned to do anything with Magic.
No.
Or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon or anything to that effect. But at least we're having fun, because we do venture out with all types of games. So, that being said, some of our rules that we have is if you have quarrels with another player, in game, then it stays in game. We don't bring that out of the table because I don't want those friendships that we have when we enter to diminish. That also goes for if you have quarrels outside. If one buddy is talking smack to another buddy and we come to the table, I don't care what's going on outside. We're sitting down, we're having fun, because not everybody here is involved with your personal life. So don't bring it to the table. We're trying to have fun. That's number one. I guess that'd be number two. Number one is a big stickler for me, and a lot of the guys that I sit down with, only because I consider us all family, is first. Above all, family is first. To where you might see my kids come into camera and they'll be on my knee, or you'll hear them in the background, or heck, something goes on and
we have to all of a sudden stop streaming at some point because some family is just first in general. It's because that's how you build up our rules, and that's how you get our guys together. But all these his kids, his wife and everything, they see me as family. So it's real nice to just come in and just do stuff like this, and to allow us to come in and do all this. It's phenomenal, because without her quotations, unquotation marks,
tread lightly.
Yeah.
Tread lightly. She knows she's gonna watch this.
How do we put this? Allowing us and giving us the permission to do it while trying to be respectful to the house is nice, because where else would we do it?
Yeah, she puts up with a lot of our crap.
She does.
And I wanted to say thanks to our neighbors, because I know sometimes we get loud and obnoxious and we're hooting and hollering and laughing, and they hear us, and I know they're being, those sons of guns over there, they're so loud all the time.
Playing their D&D.
But we do appreciate them and their understanding. That's only twice a month that we do this. And I do want to say I appreciate my wife so much for letting us do this at our table, and making sure that things go off without a hitch. My little baby boy. Better.
All right.
But that being said, real quick, so family first, number one. Number two, don't bring your crap to the table and don't take it away from the table.
Yep.
Number three, no metagaming. We don't like the metagame here. I'm a really strong believer in metagaming, because that ruins the fun for everybody. To where if he picks a dagger up in one room and nobody's in the room with him, how's anybody else going to know that? So, and if you don't know what metagaming is, real quick, metagaming is you as a person know what's going on, but your character does not, and you pass that knowledge to your character. That is metagaming in a sense.
Yep.
Or, for instance, no, don't do that, buddy. You'll knock that over. You know what's going to happen because maybe you've seen the map prior to us gaming, and you're like, well, if I go left, there's a trap. I'm going to go right instead. Metagaming. Don't do that. Do what your character would normally do. So, metagaming is also penalized, and we will penalize those players, if done so, at breaks and after the game.
Yep, and sometimes it'll happen with followed by losing a level, losing experience, or straight up getting disadvantages on rolls, just to make sure it's balanced and so that they respect it. Pretty sure the first time it's going to be you get disadvantages, the second time it's lose XP, and the third time it's lose levels after that. I think it's just levels gone, and after a certain point, I think you're just out of the group because there's not much that we can do with.
Yeah, and that was another thing was, I'm not one to kick people out of groups. If you want to come game with us, that is fantastic. But I mean, if you're going to be disrespectful and you're going to call names and you're going to do that kind of crap, or you're going to metagame over and over and over again and just cause a lot of problems for not only the group but the viewers, then you're gone. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's just how it is. But we're going to try and keep this kid friendly. We're going to try and have a lot of fun, and like I said, every other Saturday, if we can get at least 20 viewers, we're going to start a giveaway.
Yep. And then I think probably after maybe the next milestone will probably be 50 to 75. And then
let's do 25. 25 viewers, there's a giveaway. Then at 50, 75, and then 100.
And then after that, by 100 each
then
time.
100 each time. Because at 100, you guys should be scoring off with these, telling your friends and family. You guys got to check these guys out. I do like to have a lot of fun with my voices. I suck at voices, but one of my favorites was Floyd. He was a country guy, and he always talked like this, and everybody's cool, and he's a good guy. So I like to have fun with my voices. And I like to have fun with my NPCs, and I really hope you enjoy this.
Yep.
But that being said, I'm going to go put my kids to bed,
Yep.
and I'll actually take him home and then get my kids to bed, and then I will see you all tomorrow.
Yep. Thank you guys for joining us tonight on this question and answers of the revamped OGN. Any more? We are going live tomorrow at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, yeah. On the nose. We'll be on here at 6.
Yep, and if you notice that it says either we're getting started or it's the beginning, there may be a little question and answer at the beginning just so if we're waiting or trying to get something finished up. We want to start regularly and on time. But with that being said, thank you guys so much. Have a great night.
You might even start a little earlier to get the question and answer out of the way.
Yeah.
Kind of wrap things up so you can kind of hear some of the background of what's going on, and then we can actually start this on time.
Yeah.
Keep you guys updated. What else? I wanted to say one more thing and it completely blew my mind. Man, I'm getting old.
Yeah.
Gaming tomorrow, 6 to 9, and people and fun and stuff and. Anyways, we're gonna see you guys all tomorrow.
Yeah, he'll probably remember it tomorrow, so
yeah, so
we'll be fine.
That being said, I think we're gonna close out of here
Yeah.
and pass this on to your friends. We're gonna try and get the PayPal set up and all that.
Yep. All right.
Any questions? Bring it tomorrow. You can catch us on here. You can catch us on the OutcastsGamingNetwork.net. OGN Professor, the Professor.
No, OGN Professor.
OGN Professor.
Other account got banned, so that's the account that I'm playing. Not my fault. I got hacked, so things got
Never
changed.
our fault.
But I mainly stream League of Legends, do my coaching on there. I'll be playing a variety of games again coming here shortly. So
that's his stream. My stream is Wolfenstein X.
Yep.
That's one of mine. Or sometimes I might even try and jump on here and do something small to keep Outcast Gaming Network going. You can also go to the website if you don't know how to get on here. The website actually, thanks to my brother-in-law, has a link on it, and it actually has the video pre-done on it. All you do is you click the video, and it takes you straight here. And you can watch us here. We also have an Instagram. You can find us on Instagram, on Twitter,
YouTube. Apparently,
we have a YouTube. I don't know what's all active.
Yeah,
like I said, we're trying to
saying-
get this started really good.
Yep. There'll be a lot more once things start rolling and you start seeing a lot of this frequent stuff come out. But
yeah, and we are on Facebook. So
yes,
Outcasts plural Gaming Network, and you should either see the little Dragon D with the 120 die in it, or it'll be like a video game face. It's gray and green, and it has like thanks, buddy. It has like the D-pad for his eyes, and D-pad on this eye, and the buttons for this eye, and like his small mouth. And but it either has that emblem or the dragon emblem. But you can catch us there. You can drop us a line. We're always open. So we'll have more of that and link stuff tomorrow once we get better.
Yeah, the whole Twitch thing will be description and down below. Everything bio will be completed and done tomorrow before stream. So
all we ask is that you follow us and spread the word to your friends, because